Hello guys, I just filed my first amendment lawsuit against the White House. As you know, a few days ago, the White House deactivated 440.
Welcome back. Simon Ateba is a Cameroonian journalist covering the White House. He recently filed a First Amendment lawsuit against Karine and the White House. If you remember, a couple of months back, I reported videos pertaining to this. It has proceeded to a level they had to bar him.
Amendment lawsuit against the White House. As you know, a few days ago, the White House deactivated 442 hard passes, making it difficult for journalists to cover President Biden. Unfortunately, my hard pass was among them.
And we believe Simon Ateba is one of the best. He's one of the very few journalists in the White House briefing room who asks real questions.
As a result, it's difficult for me to access the White House.
For that, he's hated. Karine Jean-Pierre has been avoiding him for months. Now, Simon Ateba has learned he's being booted from the White House Correspondents Association, which controls access to the White House briefing.
For simply doing my job, for asking the right questions, for asking the tough questions.
Allow me to do my job and ask my question. When you say that the journalists are being discriminated against,
if this continues, we're going to end the press briefing. If this continues,
because when you do the right thing, when you ask the right question, they try to silence you, they try to censor you. Without freedom of the press, there cannot be democracy. Without freedom of the press, there cannot be freedom. Without freedom of the press, there cannot be a free and fair election. And I will keep fighting, I will keep doing my job. No president, including President Biden, should be allowed to dictate who.
If you never saw some videos pertaining to Karine, before I go into the full analysis of what is going on, just take a look at this.
You can't keep discriminating against some people in the briefing room because you don't like them, you don't like them.
so you have a choice.
No,
You have a choice. You have a choice.
A number of people
Okay.
in the briefing room, and I'm saying that that's not right. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is the United States. This is the White House. It's been 7 months. I sent you emails.
The rest of us are here too, pal.
It's been 7 months. You guys have not done anything for
If
me.
you have grievances, you should bring them to her later.
I have
Right
done
now,
that.
this is
I've
for the
done that.
entire
All my
press
emails
corps.
have been
And the
ignored.
press corps is tired of dealing with this.
It isn't
I've
just
done
about
that.
you,
I
Simon.
understand that you get questioned all the time and you don't understand what it is to sit here for 8 months and being discriminated against. I understand that you're in the front row and you feel comfortable and you
the
get
press
questions all the
secretary at
time.
another
But there are
time.
people in the back who don't get any questions.
Don't make assumptions about what the rest of us do. Mind your manners when you're in here. If you have a problem, you bring it up afterwards. But you are impinging on everybody in here who's only trying to do their job.
Okay, thank you. I'm saying that you shouldn't discriminate against some people because you don't agree with their question, you're offended by your
You made your
question.
point.
We all heard it.
All right. Guys, as you all know, many of you know, this is the White House press briefing room, a historic room, a room that should have decorum, a room where folks should respect their colleagues and respect the guests that are here. And I understand that there's going to be give and take. That's the way the press briefing has gone for decades before me. And I will always, always respect that. But what I will not appreciate is disrespecting your colleagues and disrespecting guests who are here to talk, who were here to talk about an incredibly important issue, which is mental health. And what has just occurred this last 10, 15 minutes is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. So we're either going to continue the briefing or we can just end the briefing right here. No. Okay, well then let's go. Now for my next guest, my colleague John Kirby is joining me here today to talk.
Yes, according to this article from the town hall, 4 months RedState has been covering the travels of Cameroonian journalists, the White House correspondent for today's News Africa, while trying to cover the Biden administration during press briefing by Press Secretary Karine. I say trying to cover because Jean-Pierre had Ateba removed from the briefing room for asking uncomfortable questions in March. His question earned him an immediate appearance on Fox News. On former Fox News host Tucker Carlson #1 show, Tucker Carlson Tonight. Now, Ateba says the access via a hard pass guaranteeing him the ability to cover the White House was among hundreds of other recently scrapped by the Biden administration, essentially keeping him from fulfilling his role as a journalist. On Thursday, he announced the filing of a First Amendment suit against both the White House and Jean-Pierre while sharing a tweet by the legal non-profit group Center for American Liberty announcing its lawsuit on his behalf. Atiba right. Now, when you take a look at this, I think I reported some videos pertaining to this. Karine is not comfortable with any person that asks difficult questions. If you see this resulting to this, it is not strange. I have seen this over and over. When you ask difficult questions, immediately you are bad. If you notice, Peter Duce has been tough. The way they go off on him sometimes can be disturbing.
This is the US, this is not China, this is not Russia. This is not Russia.
Okay.
What you are doing, you are making a monkey of the First Amendment.
Decorum, please.
It's been 7 months. You've not called on me. You've not my messages. I'm saying that's not right. That's not right.
Fun times. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
If you are a press secretary, you are not able to tackle questions from all angles, then I don't know what exactly you are doing. To me, Karine should be fired, which I know at the end of the day, the Joe administration cannot fire her. She likes softball questions just like Biden. When they are going to any occasions, Biden is always there with prepared reporters and responses to their question. Maybe that is the same thing with Karine. Never comfortable with the kind of question Simon Ateba willing to ask. It is a problem. If you are not there to tackle real questions, only there to pick up softball questions from CNN, that is insane. What is the meaning of a press secretary? You should be the spokesperson. Anything happening to the White House, you should be able to stand up, defend it by being truthful. I think that is the essence being there. If you cannot walk in this direction, then there is something wrong. I've been seeing this with Biden. I thought maybe because of his age, he's not thinking well, he cannot tackle questions. But Karine is still very young and tender. What is the meaning of always running away from questions? Sometimes, if you ask a difficult question, she'll tell you, oh, I cannot respond to this now. She will refer you to where you cannot even answer the question. Like the recent case of Hunter Biden telling us Hunter Biden is a private citizen. That is insane. But we saw Hunter Biden moving with a presidential convoy, for security reasons. He should not be moving with this. If you cannot able to stand up to defend him by speaking the truth, then you are not qualified to be the press secretary.